Hello, friends. Hopefully you can hear me. If at some point you stop hearing me, please let me know, as we had some issues last night on Winds of Chaos with my mic cutting out. I was unable to determine what it was. Oh, we're gonna have the rest of this conversation as Chikella. What? Bruce Campbell's soup? Thank you so much. Oh, hang on. I gotta get into the voice. Thank you so much for the gift subs to Shune, Blur the Fluffy Cheetah, Pie, Mystic Soda, and Bard Owl. This is what that does. I put on the octopus hat and I use the voice. The voice of the octopus. Also, just so everyone knows, Bruce Campbell's soup has been here since 10/12. Yes, that's right. We're staying the octopus for a while, apparently. I see your message, Bruce Campbell's soup, and I appreciate the hell out of you. Hello, everybody. Blur. Hello. Pie. Hello. Shut the alpaca. Hello. Thank you for a 5-stream streak. 5 streams in a row of this madness. Pie. 55 stream streak. That's not small, my friend. That's at least medium-sized. Thank you so much. Bard Owl. Hello. What an emote, Typhoon. Heck yeah, that was all you, Bruce Campbell Soup. You're amazing. We love you. Thank you so much for hanging around. If my mic cuts out randomly, please let me know. I jiggled the USB yesterday. I checked all my cords. Everything seems like it should be working, so let's hope. Heck yeah, wanted to stop in before my meeting. Bruce Campbell Soup, I hope your meeting is swift and easy, and that you have a fabulous day, because you deserve that. We're gonna be the octopus for a while, just while we have so many lovely people here. I want to address a small incident. You may have seen a post in the Discord this morning. You may be asking yourselves, Megan, did you really say to Cauliflumps, fuck you and shut up? The answer is that yes, I did say that to him. I did tell Cauliflumps, fuck you and shut up, because he asked me to. He told me to say to him those words, and we giggled about it. There was definite giggling. It was full consensual. It was 100% mutual. Whatever Cauliflumps tells you after the fact, it was consensual. And we giggled about it. Because we only realized after we did it that there were a bunch of people who didn't know what was going on. And it happened. Context! I'm sure that the first part of this will be clipped out of context, so I'm putting all the context at the end so that you can have your fun clipping the part where I don't apologize for saying fuck you and shut up to Cauliflumps. I don't apologize. I officially don't apologize for saying to Cauliflumps, fuck you and shut up. There's your clip. Anyway, the reason I said that is because apparently there was words being starred out for Cauliflumps. He could not see them at all. And he needed somebody to test once he changed his settings if he was able to see the new words. So I said those words. It was necessary. And frankly, hilarious. I hope that clears up, or doesn't, as the case may be, what happened last night on Winds of Chaos. Today, we're not doing anything related to that, but I did want to talk about it because someone, Bruce Campbell Soup, may have posted a screenshot of it on the Discord with completely no context. Which I do love, the fact that that happened. I do love that somebody did that. Because I think it's hilarious. So yes. There's a redeem for the octopus that doesn't have the voice. I've probably talked like this for an hour before. Sorry, I'm texting my husband. But there is a redeem for the octopus hat that doesn't have the voice. Our mortgage is up for renewal, so there's some things that need to be... There's some documents that need to be managed. But I needed to tell Ghost Pepper that this mortgage broker we're working with sent me an email this morning, like, using, like, really bad shortcuts for email communication. Like, she sounds like she's 5. And I just got done telling this woman that I'm a professional writer. This does not inspire confidence. Don't do that in your professional life. I know I sound ridiculous right now when I'm saying this. But don't do that. Don't send those kinds of emails. Write full sentences. Did you get your mundane item last night? I think there was a couple items that were given to the party. Pie, don't you start with me. Don't you start with me. I know you're capable of using full sentences. Don't you start with me. I don't abide by that kind of stuff. There was a lot of potatoes that were given. A lot of potatoes were given. And a special potato. Also, Darfin departed last night. He departed from the party on his personal quest. So, yeah. Collie is my special potato. Collie is a very special potato. I have a feeling that so many clips from today are going to be clipped and sent to Cauliflumps, and I just can't wait for the reaction. Why you sad, Bruce Campbell Soup? Oh, because Darfin departed. I've been guesting on Winds of Chaos for I think like 4 months now. That was never the original intention. There may or may not have been a follow-up in post in stream memes. Uh-oh. Bruce Campbell Soup, you do good work. Flanger, hello! I believe it's Flanger. I know Ghost usually says it Flanger. Or maybe I'm saying it wrong. Maybe I'm misremembering. Oh God, now I'm questioning. I'm questioning reality. I'm questioning this voice. I'm questioning everything. Soft G. Yes. Flanger. Right? Yeah, the jur would be the hard one. Oh, English is a hard language, you guys. Thank you. This is the octopus voice, which apparently we're doing for a long time. Oh, you want it like a... So it is flanger. I remembered that Ghost always says it wrong. And then I was like, but wait. Maybe I'm misremembering the order that it's spoken in. I was wondering was gonna come of Darfin. Darfin, so... Bruce, thank you for that big emote. We love you. Darfin was not a regular party member. It may have seemed that way for anyone who recently joined us these last few weeks on Winds of Chaos. It may have seemed like Darfin was a regular character. Darfin was actually a guest character way back like 2 years ago. I had done just a like 2-shot appearance with Darfin, who was a character that I kind of mocked up at Ghost's request. He had something that he wanted to do, and he needed a paladin for it. And I think at the time, Mazra hadn't yet... I think she was just like a level 1 paladin. She hadn't even done her oath yet. And so Darfin appeared for like, I think 2 episodes. And then he vanished. There was an attack against Matilda in prison, and Darfin vanished, and people actually assumed that he attempted to murder her, but the party never believed that. They always believed that Darfin was innocent. What is a paladin's... Oh my god. Oathmeal. Pie. Why are you like this? We love you, but why? So yeah, Darfin was gone in another world. For in real time, like 2 years. In game time, I think it was only about half that much. Off to check in on some contractors. Bruce, we love you. Thank you so much for hanging out. We hope to see you again soon. You're amazing. Thank you for all those clips, and for all the bits and all the gift subs. Truly, you are a wonderful human being. And so, they found him again in the mini dungeon when they got sucked into me being the GM for a little while. The plan was always for Darfin to eventually escort Matilda back to Lysantia. So Lysantia was... I apologize, my voice is cracking ever so slightly. Lysantia was a city that they visited back towards the beginning of the campaign, where they met the Knights Radiant. Was it the Knights Radiant? I believe is what Darfin is actually the captain of. He's not the captain of the Super Guard, as he's been called numerous times. He was a captain of the Knights Radiant. And they participated in a mystery where they accidentally arrested the wrong person. So Darfin's plan was always to eventually take Matilda back to Lysantia so that she could help clear up whatever's going on in the church. So that was always going to happen at some point. So Darfin has headed back there. After the fight against Goldrill, where Darfin did maybe 9 points of damage in the whole fight, it seemed very appropriate that the party didn't really need him around anymore. But we did have some really great character moments last night. I got to talk a little bit about Darfin's backstory, and before I left, I vetted this with Ghost Pepper. I was able to give the party a Dear Ephema stone. So they can now, once per long rest, ask Ephema a question, and she can answer. I haven't, unfortunately, been able to record the Dear Ephema segment for some time. All the computer troubles that I was having interfered a lot with me trying to do extra little stuff on the side. So now there's a stone of Dear Ephema. And of course they used the first use to ask, is this Ephema? Which I thought was hilarious. Yeah, I did a mini dungeon. It was sort of a surprise gift for Ghost Pepper. He DMs a lot. He doesn't get to play as often, so it was sort of my gift to him for 3 years of DMing Winds of Chaos, was to do a little mini dungeon where he got to play his character as Skander, who is mostly an NPC, but he actually got to play him as a player for a little while, and we used that to bring Darfin back. So Darfin is out in the world still. He's around. Ephema is God only knows where, doing God only knows what, but she can talk to the party once per day to answer their questions. Whether or not the answers are good, that, who knows? I'm not gonna comment. Did you ever have a dream that you had, you would, you could, you do, would you want to, you could do some, you? Is this a meme? Pie? Is this a meme? Pie, what are you doing to me? Pie. I'm too old. I'm too old. Pie speaks another language. Pie speaks another language that I don't entirely understand. I do love Pie, but he teaches me things like Cap'n and Booley. Oh my god, the fact that I got both of those links at the same exact time.
Have you ever had a dream that you could
I think I have seen this.
You want him to do you so much you could do anything?
Alright. Wow, what a morning! What an absolute morning! One of the mornings of all time. We're working on the prompt novel today, now that we've addressed all the scandals from last night. For those that aren't familiar with this project, at the beginning of the year, it's none of those times. It's 11:09. Pie, you broke me. My brain is actually broken right now. I can't numbers. It's 11:09 a.m. here. It is still morning. It is not yet noon. Therefore, it is morning. I have not yet experienced the crossover of the sun at full zenith. Okay? And I have had like 4 sips of coffee, which I think reminds me, I think we've got like 3 hydrates to do. You know what, Pie? I like your funny magic words too. They don't make sense to me, but I enjoy them. Why are you laughing at zenith? It's a word! What? This is where I should end stream, right? This is where I should go back to bed, take a nap, forget that the universe exists for a little while. He's trolling the hell out of me today. The prompt novel is a project that we started at the beginning of this year, that I started at the beginning of this year. The idea is that I would write an entire novel based on writing prompts. So I used my dice, my pretty D&D dice, and I rolled up some writing prompts. I did vet them. I did reject a few because they were boring. They needed to at least hold my attention. But I didn't have a plot in mind when I rolled the prompts. They were random. I've always said it Zenith. I think both are right. I'm in Canada. Remember, we do our vowels differently. So, I like to imagine the octopus voice is Striker's customer service voice. Hello and welcome to our hotline. Today we have 72-inch glizzies available for the low, low price of $69.99. How can I direct your call? Yeah, exactly. I'm in Canada. We speak more closer to the British English. Hello, Lomi. Than we do to the American. I assumed. Yeah. Zenit is Polish. There you go. I'm Polish today. So yeah, I run into that a lot. Half of my words are American and half of them are Canadian. It's a thing. But yeah, so we've been working our way through the prompt novel. We added some extra prompts because I originally only rolled, I think, 18, and that wasn't enough. So I'm pretty sure we have 23. I'm not even sure 23 will be enough. I might have to add some more, but we've basically been cobbling a plot together as we go. So far, basically, 2 characters met in a road rage incident. One of them ended up cursed by the other accidentally. Which led to those same 2 characters ending up semi-trapped in a computer simulation where they had a torrid love affair. Now they've emerged from the computer simulation to discover that although they didn't have real actual sex, the magic one is pregnant. Because that sounded like a really cool conflict. Also, she's married to another guy. Not the guy that she had the computer simulation sex with. That's where that stands. Also, her nephew had gone missing at the beginning of the book. He was presumed dead, which brings us to today's writing prompt, which is... document opening slowly. A character thought dead returns home to the surprise of those that moved on. So that's the prompt we're doing today for chapter 14. I gotta make myself a document and save it on my desktop. This is the part I'm here for. I wanted to hear the prompt. There you go. That's the prompt. And we're just gonna... So many octopuses have been redeemed that, this is me now. Lomi, how's it going? Are you still 10 to 15,000 words away from ending your novel? I hope it's only 10 words, because then you can finish today. But if you don't finish today, that's cool too. Pie, enjoy your lurk. We love you. I can never be a writer. My vocabulary's too poor. Listen, the second you sit down to write something, 90% of your vocabulary evaporates out of your brain anyway. You have to learn it all back. So, you know, that's fine. That's how it works. They went home to the surprise of others. I wrote 2,500-ish words today. Dang, lovely. And after looking at my outline, appear to still be around 10,000. That's way more than 10,000 to 15,000 words from the end. Pie, thank you. Thank you from that hydrate from lurk state. That happens. I was just talking yesterday about how I'm already 100,000 words into the new Celestial Serenade story, book, novel thing. What is wrong with my brain today? And, the joke's on you, Pie. I usually actually give 20 minutes for this redeem. It says, I think, 10 minutes, but I usually give 20. So you redeemed a second one. That's 40 minutes of the octopus right there. Okay? So we are only 23 minutes into this insanity. There's more still to come. The novel, book, story, whatever. It's like 100,000 words, and I'm still like 10 or 15,000 words from the end. So much for breaking up my stories so that they would be shorter. If you want this whole stream to be the octopus pie, that's your prerogative. I give you guys these channel points. I can't control what you do with them. We are going to get set up, though, to do the productivities, because that's what we're actually here for. What is this emote? That's hilarious. Pie, you have the cutest emotes, my friend. Okay. First of all, I need to change my shirt. That's not my shirt. That's not my shirt. I promise I'm not drunk. I just can't click under normal circumstances. Let's hang out with our frog, actually. Got errands to run, so I can't stick around, but good luck with the octopus thing. Thank you! Aw, you got my emotes too, Pie. Use them for evil, not good. What activity do we want to do today? Let's hang out, at the window. And let's make it nighttime. And we're gonna switch the music. I'm really digging this, Chillin' with the Unknown playlist. It suits my vibe. I like the upbeat ones, but they don't quite match the tone of what I'm writing. It's a little hard to write something about, you know, a serial killer when the music's like do 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 do. So we're gonna go with something a little more mellow today at the moment. And there we go. We got our flutter frog. We got our nighttime rain. We're gonna set this up. We're gonna do 2 30-minute sprints with 15-minute breaks. And see where that gets us. Good day. Pie, thank you for that special potato clip as well. When I think of serial killer, my brain plays pink fluffy unicorns dancing on rainbows. Mine doesn't, strangely enough, so, yeah. I once again did the thing where I talked too much. I'm gonna blame Cauliflumps. It's mostly his fault. For reasons. So we're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna rest my voice for a hot minute. We get back. It's 120% Cauliflumps. I played no role in extending the conversation this morning. It was 100% Cauliflumps. I'm gonna rest my voice for a minute. I'm gonna do my steps quick for the hour. We're gonna start 30 minutes. I've got a plan for this. It's gonna be 2 scenes, but I think the first one's gonna be really short. So we're gonna get into this. And I will be right back. Just have a grumpy Dahmerin for 1 minute. I've returned. I am back. I was thinking about the clip that Bruce posted of me talking about the Cauliflumps incident, and I'm tempted to make it a channel points redeem that you guys can redeem to get me to say to the person who redeems it. Fuck you and shut up. We'll see. We'll see! I don't know if everybody shares my sense of humor with that kind of thing, but maybe. For now, though, thank you, Blur, for the welcome. I think I said that twice. That's okay. Let's get to it. Let's do the clicky clacks, because I know, funny voices and scandals aside, in real life, yes, I cut it. You can't tell right now because I've got an octopus on, but it's cut. I cut it short. It needed it very badly. My ends were very badly damaged and dying. So I got it chopped so it will curl all nicely. Not at the moment because I'm wearing an octopus. Aw, thank you, Tyranno. Yeah, that just happened. Yesterday was my first stream since I changed it. It was shorter on Wolf's stream on Saturday because I got it cut on Saturday. But yes, I did get it cut. Thank you. And it was straight on Saturday, but it was curly yesterday because I let it curl. It's curly today too, you just can't see it because it's under an octopus. Also, Tyranno, thanks for hanging out last night. I think you had to leave, at one point. I think a couple people had to leave because we ran late. We did talk a little bit about what happened last night, but, Darfin did leave the party. You were there through the end. Awesome. Yeah, Darfin departed. I think you came in when I was doing the epic, Darfin backstory, which was super fun. I didn't anticipate having that conversation, but it was kind of nice to have it in there. Previously unknown to pretty much everyone but me, that particular bit of backstory. Nice! It was super fun. It just kind of happened. The conversation just kind of went there. For anybody who, if you miss any part of Winds of Chaos and you want to, watch it, they do get uploaded to a YouTube channel, so you can see anything you missed. I'm gonna do productivity right now, but I will, get the link to the Winds of Chaos. I think there's, like, maybe 2 episodes that got lost in the ether somewhere. But most of the episodes, most of all the 140 some odd episodes are on there. No, I'm allowing myself to get distracted. Sorry, that was my phone ringing. But I have sent it to voicemail. World building, Ghost is so good at world building. He actually is a writer as well. He hasn't written anything in a long time. But he's quite good at it. He doesn't give himself any credit, but he's quite good at it. So, absolutely. But yes, I'll get that link at the break when we are finished with the first part of the scene. And I just, my first sentence just evaporated. Whoops! Well, I forgot to turn that off. That's bad. I heard a weird sound. Hey, Satan Sprite. Am I still supposed to be... I think I can de-octopus my voice now. Where is this woman's sister's name? Constance. It's going pretty good. We just got into it. Just getting this first scene started. Hopefully of 2. How are you? Okay, I'm actually going to take off the octopus. De-octopus myself. Now you guys can see my short hair. It would be pie. Dealing with I can't sleep issues? Oh no! That sucks. But I am familiar with can't sleep issues. I didn't sleep great last night either, to be honest. Insomnia is just a regular thing for me, and a small part of why my sleep schedule isn't a schedule, just happens all over the clock. I get it. I have had insomnia for most of my life, and I don't want to say that getting the earplugs cured it, because I do still have sleepless nights, but it did cut through. It made it easier for me to sleep most nights, but there are still some nights where I just don't. It is the sort of thing where you just kind of have to learn to live with it and work around it. Oh. I think maybe the stream wasn't updating because I had the game minimized. I was like, that doesn't seem like the timer has moved at all. Okay. Bruce, no, why? I was just about to welcome you back. Why would you do this? I think people see the rose and they think it's a nice emote. Is this my punishment for how I spoke to cauliflumps? I don't even know why I added that emote to the channel. first scene complete through. I have a slightly less clear idea of what I want to do for the second scene, but we'll see how it goes. The first few sentences of the next scene in. That was 1,410 words total, which I'm pretty happy with because I got a little bit of a slow start there. Heck yeah. Just making sure I did not miss any octopus redeems. Heck yeah. And here we are. My husband snores loudly. The earplugs I've gotten do help a little with, but not enough to be totally comfortable. I mean, it's also maybe not finding the right ones, but it's also hard because the ones I think would stand the best chance of working are also way out of our budget. So yeah, what kind of earplugs are you looking into, Satan Sprite? I like I said, I just use the wax ones. I think Ghost has talked about this, so I think it's okay to mention, but Ghost Pepper has sleep apnea. So without his sleep apnea machine, he does make some quite loud noises in his sleep because he stops breathing. And his body struggles to compensate for that. So he was diagnosed several years ago with having sleep apnea, and he does have a sleep apnea machine, which helps with that. So I don't know if your husband has been tested, but it's worth checking into if you think that might be the case. And it makes a big difference for both of us. Flanny, hello, cheers. But the sleep apnea machine does make its own noises as well. Now, I do find that the earplugs. I heard that you may have had a spill yesterday, Flanny. Are you doing okay? I did not get details from Ghost, but he did tell me that that you had let him know that you had an accident. I hope that you're doing okay. Yeah, so it does help, but for me, the noises, and also, like, we live on a noisy street, we have tenants downstairs. I never really realized that I was such a light sleeper and that I was affected by noises as much as I was until I started sleeping with the earplugs, because all of a sudden, as soon as I was blocking out the sound, I just started falling asleep much faster and staying asleep much longer. So it was kind of when I started using the earplugs and when I started using my Fitbit to measure, like, my sleep, I started realizing, oh, part of my problem is that I'm a very light sleeper, and noises are constantly shaking me awake, even though I didn't realize that was happening. Now, even with the earplugs, I still sometimes have nights where, like, I'm very tired, but I just don't sleep. I just lay there and I just roll around, and there's not much I can do about it. And that's insomnia. That's what insomnia does. Like, even if you can find a way to
filter out all the noises and get like the most comfortable sleep environment for you, there's still going to be times like that, which kind of sucks. I feel like ones that would be best for me would be the earbuds that also play music or sounds. Those ones are pretty expensive. I looked into those too. Because it's kind of funny because I play white noise on my iPad and then I block it out with earplugs. So the ones I use are just like cheap, disposable. I tried the loop earplugs. So there's a thing called loop earplugs that they make. They're meant to be reusable. They're meant to be like permanent, lifelong sort of thing. And they have a set of silicone earplugs that are meant to be used for sleeping, but they didn't block enough noise for me. They did not seal enough to block out the same level of decibels as my wax ones do. So if you are looking into the loops, Satan Sprite, I highly recommend getting a set that come with the mutes. So because I didn't have that, and my friend has ones that have mutes, and I kind of wonder if that would have worked better for me. Because I kind of did more research after the fact. I probably won't go back to trying loop again, because they did basically nothing for me. Hopefully that won't be the case for you. I think I had trouble with getting them to seal in my ears properly. But I looked into it more, and they have basically the loops come with the earplugs, and then you can get these little small loops that go inside the outer portion of the loop, which are called mutes. Look into getting a set with those, because those are going to probably block more sound than the ones I tried. I was at the hospital for 16 hours. Good Lord. 10 of those strapped to a backboard under concussion and spinal protocols. Thankfully, nothing broken, but a mild concussion and bone bruising on my back, neck, and hips. Flanny, I'm so sorry. Please take care of yourself. Please get lots of rest. I assume you're doing that, but I'm going to say it anyway because we love you. We care about you. We want you to get better. I'm so sorry to hear about that. Are you able to, I assume like that they did the initial check on you so that you're safe to sleep again. Because I know the first like night of a concussion, you're supposed to be woken up at like regular intervals. Currently cuddling with Pupper. Good. I hope he's taking good care of you. But yeah, if you're past that danger point, then I hope you get some rest. I hope you get some good sleep. Roommate has been taking care of it. Good. Good. I'm glad you have someone to look after you. That's scary. any kind of back or head injury is scary, but I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to hear from you. And we are sending all our love. Yes, glad that there are no broken bones. Absolutely. I have a pair now with tips that are like loops, but the part that sits outside of the eardrum is a hard piece, which isn't great for me as a side sleeper, which is why I'm thinking the loops might actually work. Yeah, so yeah, there's 3 different type of loop earplugs, and the sleep ones do have a soft inner portion. But I just couldn't get them to seal enough for me to block out. They just did not block out as much as my wax earplugs do. The benefit of the wax earplugs is that, so I don't know if I can really show you, but this part of your ear, this like inner part of your ear here, that's where the wax earplugs sit. So they basically just fit all in here, and they don't go into your eardrum. They sit outside. They sit in this portion here. They're designed for swimming, essentially. So you would put them in when you go swimming, and then no water would get in your ears. But they also block, I think, up to 22 decibels. And it took me a while to get used to having them in my ear when I sleep, because I'm a side sleeper too. So I'm essentially laying on top of one of them all night long. And I will admit, I do still, like, sometimes if I sleep in the right way, like I woke up this morning with one of my ears feeling a little bit sore. Because the earplugs do some nights just get extra jammed in there because, you know, I'm rolling around on top of them. And I do get a little sore from it sometimes, but it's still what works best for me. I also am kind of still looking into other potential solutions because I'd like something a little more permanent. The loops just ended up not being for me, sadly. But I know other people who have loop earplugs and really like them, and even use them, like, not for sleeping, but for, like, in public spaces, to dampen sound. And I couldn't get the sound dampening ones to work for me either. So hopefully they'll do the trick for you. But definitely look into getting the mutes, because my friend who uses hers uses the mutes, and I think without them they're just not as good. The wax ones, the one on my pillow side kept unsealing because of how I put my hand for sleep. Oh, interesting. Because I find it's the opposite. The one that I lay on seals better than the one I don't lay on. Usually I can get, you do have to apply a little bit of pressure, not like a ton. You do have to apply a little bit of pressure to get them to seal. Every now and then I have a night where they just don't want to seal. I had one night like that last week where I just could not get them to seal properly, and I was getting sound leakage that was keeping me up. It takes some getting used to, you know? Oh, my thumb hooks behind my ear when I sleep so it pops out. That makes sense. Yeah, because that is kind of how you remove them, is you basically grab your lobe and then slide your finger into the spot where they are and pull them out. So that does make sense why that would happen. Let's do a change in our activity. Let's go to the desk. I usually do make it a little bit brighter at the desk, because I find that the room just looks a little bit better if we go with a bit of a warmer light. And let's hang out with our little bee. I have so much money, I feel like I should just buy all of the skins. Aw, look at his eyes when we pet him! Too cute. Alright, I am going to take a quick AFK, and just use the restroom and grab my steps quickly here. I will pause the timer while I'm AFK, so that we can do a little bit more talking when I get back, if we'd like. But we're going to gear up to get through our second round of productivity, where I will hopefully finish this scene. Because before we wrap up, I would like to go back to my prompt list, because I did kind of have a little bit of inspiration last night. I've just been basically trying to put the prompts in the order that I'm going to write them in. And I do have some ideas for where I want the plot to go based on which prompts I have available, and I'm trying to decide if I'm going to need some more prompts. So I did look over it this morning, and I do think I mostly have the prompts I'm going to need. I just want to make sure that I have enough in there to bring the story to a satisfying conclusion. So we might spend the last 15 minutes or so of stream doing that. Apparently I just leveled up and got more spirit bucks. Heck yeah. But yeah, let me pause this quick. I will be right back, and we will get on with things. I'm back. Here we are. We've got our little bee. Thank you. Blur, what are you up to today? Are you arting? Is art happening? Redesigning one of my old characters. Looking up some inspiration for her new outfit. That's awesome. Oh, sorry, yawns. Oh. So just checking a few things because after Strem, I need to gather some documents. Oops. All right, it is time to resume the clicky clacks. Just opened some crackers and they went everywhere. No, get back here, crackers. You have to go in Blur's mouth. Get in there. Woof! Hello, hello! How's it going? What is this emote? That's amazing. That's so cute. Is that a snail? That's so cute. Welcome in. How's it going? Getting some prompt novel written. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh my goodness. How are you? Oh gosh, I just realized I already crossed the 2,000 mark for this scene. Heck yeah. Been a busy morning, but getting some food in me. Heck yeah. I hope busy in a good way. What's for lunch? Or dinner, as it's probably dinner, maybe. How far out of me are you? Listen, it's shaping up to be one of those days for me too, so I get it. We just got, we're dealing with our mortgage renewal, so there's a lot of documents to hunt down and all that. It is what it is. It gotta get done, you know? Why did they decide to sell their house, Satan Sprite? Was it a house that they've lived in for a while? I mean, it sounds like it's the house that they've lived in for a while. My hello, popping in for mid-afternoon lurk. Glad to see you. We've got to hydrate. Heck yeah. We've got to save this file. And we gotta stretch. We stretching. Oh, heck yeah. Sorry about the sneezels. Hopefully I was far enough away from the microphone not to peek it. Satan's Sprite says, my grandmother moved into that house when she was 14 and inherited it from her parents. I almost literally grew up there. They sold it because they moved in with my uncle in a new town about 4 to 6 hours away. It really is better for them, so I'm not upset or anything about it, but just weird because all my memories are there. I moved with my parents so much as a kid, so I never really got to set down roots anywhere, so my grandparents' house was the only place that remained stable. I actually lived with them for all of my teen years, so the fact that I also called the place home for a good number of years adds to the feelings. That makes total sense. 100%. I still remember leaving my childhood home. We didn't live in it quite as long, but there was a house that I mostly grew up in and that my brothers almost completely grew up in that we moved out of shortly before I left home and moved to Canada and all that. And it's weird. It's always really weird to spend a lot of time in a place, for it to be really familiar, and then to think, I'll never go there again. I'll never see that place again. It won't be mine anymore. It'll be somebody else's, and somebody else will be making the memories there. It's always... We attach so much of our identity and our memory and our sort of our emotional sense of space and time to the places that we occupy and to the places that we go to very often. So it makes perfect sense. It's almost like losing an old friend, right? To walk away from a space and know that you won't go back to it. So that makes perfect sense. I kind of had a feeling by how you worded it the first time that it was probably like a childhood home situation. Wolf says, I still have memories and dreams about my grandparents' house that I spent a lot of time in as a kid. Same. My grandmother lived in a house, again, also kind of similar. My grandmother lived in a house for many, many years that she moved out of when I was a teenager. Because she didn't own it. It was owned by someone else, and they wanted the house back for other purposes. So she moved. And it was very strange to me for a long time because that was always the house I associated with her. That was the space that I associated with her and that I remembered. And it's funny because I think if I went to that house now, it would seem completely different because most of my memories of that house are from when I was much younger. So like, and shorter. And so that house always seems so big and that space always seems so impressive. And I bet if I went back and saw it now, I'd be like, this doesn't feel anything like the house I remember. Yeah, it's interesting how we, cause it's the same with scents as well. Like if you had a smell that, was very common, in your house, like flowers that grew around the area where you were, or, you know, bushes, or a certain type of thing that your parents would cook very often. Smells are very, very strongly tied to memory as well. And a smell can make you remember something or just like transport you to an entirely different place depending on, you know, what you were feeling when you encountered that smell, or if you encountered a smell a lot over a time frame. So it's very, very interesting how we sort of process and access memories. Didn't get much done during that sprint because half of it was trying to find the right photos. I thought you were going to say half of it was me finding crackers that fell on the floor. Hey, Blur, finding the right photo references is part of the drawing process. It's okay. If you gotta find the stuff, you gotta find the stuff. We gotta pet our little bee friend. sure the ghost doesn't need anything else from me. For this whole mortgage thing. Let's see. For the last sprint, although I don't know, I might only do... Maybe we will do the full 30 minutes. I was going to say, I don't know that I need the full 30 minutes because I'm almost done with this scene, but I do want to spend a little bit of time organizing the stuff to come. So who knows? Maybe we'll do a 20-minute. People do a 20-minute, but let's go hang out at the fireplace. I feel like I should always be typing because is what I'm doing. And we'll have some nice nighttime and we'll hang with a different spirit companion. Let's hang with our chapter pillar. I love this little guy. He's so cute. So cute. So adorable. I like it when he goes like this and adjusts his little glasses. It's so cute. I'm just waiting for it to happen. I'm waiting for him to adjust them. He's so involved in that book. He's so intent. You better not interrupt him because he'll be upset. He'll be so upset. Oh, there it goes. Ah, so cute. So cute. I was just like, why can't I find the right photos? And 2 seconds later, I find the right photo. That happens so often. So often. Yeah, I can see why this guy is the Mad Lad's favorite, because he's very cute. He's a very sweet little guy. Alright, I am gonna take a quick break here, I think. Just a quick pop AFK to... I didn't run the break timer this time because I knew I wasn't gonna want to take a full break. So I am just gonna pop AFK for 1 minute here to give my coffee a little bit of a refresh, and then we're gonna finish this scene. And I have a little bit of organization that I want to do, for the future of these writing prompts. So I basically have I have a list of prompts that we've chosen, that I've chosen, and I just want to potentially just update the order that I'm going to use them in. Because I have a suspicion that I might need to add a few more. But there were some... I try to keep them in mind, like, each week when I'm picking which prompt I'm going to use next. I try to keep in mind all the ones I have left. But there are some that I consistently keep forgetting about. So, I definitely know... for this one, I want the prompt to be here. So I'm not necessarily trying to plan out the novel, just picking the order that I'm gonna do the prompts in. Sorry, I know I'm staring very intently at the list because I have a couple that synergize really well. Like, character has to get to the bottom of their family's deepest secret, and character discovers their best friend's dad is responsible for the growing number of missing people in their hometown. So I feel like I want to use those in sequence. But I haven't entirely figured out how I want to resolve the plot. And so I think in order to fit in some of the resolutions, I'm probably going to need more prompts. I had originally wanted to go up to 25 and I only went up to 23. So I'm not sure. I've basically got it broken down at this point into 3 groups of 8, but I'm wondering if I need a couple more. Probably not a mystery that I'm gonna necessarily solve today. But we'll see. So I'm gonna take a quick break, and then we will come back. I think we'll do a 20-minute sprint instead of a full 30, because I don't think I'm gonna need the full 30 minutes. And then we will wrap up, because I promised Ghost Pepper I would make some spaghetti sauce today. So between having to gather documents and having to make a spaghetti sauce, I'm gonna need a little bit extra time this afternoon. So we're gonna try to wrap up right on time. So I will be right back to do just that. I have returned. I'm gonna set this to 20-minute with a 5-minute break, although it won't actually run. I've noticed that it doesn't actually run the break timer unless you create a loop. Like on the last loop, it just doesn't run the break timer, which is weird, but you know, whatevs. So we will do 20 minutes, should be enough for me to wrap up this scene. And then I can go make spaghetti sauce. Pretty sure we talked about this before, about how much of your work day do you stream. So I basically have one work slot in the morning and one work slot in the evening, which is the same amount of, or one in the morning and one in the afternoon, which is the same amount of time, so roughly 3 hours. And then I do a little tiny itty bitty bit, theoretically, of work after dinner, so about like an hour and a half. So roughly half of my workday. My 3-hour morning slot is essentially what I'm streaming. So I'll accomplish one major task in the afternoon. Today I'm going to be polishing the 3rd book of the Aravalia Chronicles to go out. So I'm hopefully going to read about 5 or 6 scenes of that to make sure it's up to snuff for publication. And then in the evening, I will do a little bit of marketing work, and then I'm done for the day, theoretically. Sometimes the work runs longer than it should, which I'm trying to prevent from happening. It's very hard. You spend the first part of time that you're working for yourself, forcing yourself to work because it's hard to make yourself work. And then eventually you get to a point where you're so good at making yourself work that you have to learn how to make yourself stop working. And I'm in that stage. I am now too good at working and not good enough at relaxing. I get so burnt out on parenting that when I can work, I just want to play video games. I mean, that's fair. I don't have children, so I imagine if I did, it would be much harder to do the amount of stuff that I do in a day. I imagine I would do less. Plus, you need time to de-stress and relax, right? You need to recharge the well so that you can pull from it. All right. I have finished this chapter. It is 3,865 words total, which is around about, all of the chapters have been roughly the same size, give or take a couple hundred words, which is not necessarily planned, but it feels like if they're all roughly around the same area, then I'm getting enough content in for each prompt. Kiki, hello. How's it going? So now I think what I'm gonna do is try to put these in a little bit more order. So I'm gonna want... Hey, the Mad Lad, how's it going? On your site now trying to decide on my next reading material? Hey, if you have any questions, Satan Sprite, let me know. Depending on, like, what aspects of Eternity's Empire you liked the most, if you liked the fantasy element more, you might be interested in the Aravalia Chronicles, which is very fantasy-oriented. If you liked the sort of space empire elements more, you might enjoy the Celestial Serenade, which is another space opera. Less magical in nature, but same sort of story vibe. I'm doing pretty good, the Mad Lad. Got a lot going on today, but that's as it is. Definitely more the fantasy side, so you probably would be interested in the Aravalia Chronicles. And if you would like to wait until more of that is available, because I know there's only 2 books of that so far, you might also enjoy Dreamers Do Lie, which is a fantasy reimagining of Dante's Inferno, which is actually finished. There's only 2 books of that as well, but it's finished. And also Everyone's Child, which is the other high fantasy epic that I'm working on at the moment. I don't have the samples for Aravalia Chronicles and Everyone's Child up. There's little tiny, like, clips from each book on the book pages that I just posted this past week. I haven't gotten to put up the sample chapters yet. I'm still working on that. I'm a bit behind on it, but there will be sample chapters for Aravalia Chronicles and Everyone's Child going up soon. Dreamers Do Lie and Life is But a Dream is the Dante's Inferno reimagining. Yeah, Dream Things True. That is Z1. I think I only did 2. How many hydrates did I do? I'll do 2 more. That was at least 3 hydrates for Pi. Possibly more. Yeah, that I read quite a lot of Dante to write that book, those 2 books, so So I do have the next several. Bruce, thank you for another big emote. I'm not sure why you are rage sipping, but we love you. My new book, The Importance of Being Earnest. Yes. So far, so good. I can really grasp the satire, as there is some questionable quotes about women. The only way to behave to a woman is to make love to her if she is pretty, and to someone else if she is plain. Yes, The Importance of Being Earnest is the satire, and it's chef's kiss amazing. If that one's done as you say, I might try it. I have a thing about reading unfinished series just because of, as you probably noticed, the speed I go through them. I did notice! And that was why I mentioned that you might want to wait at least until October to start the Aravalia Chronicles, because the first trilogy will then at least be out, and you'll actually have like a stopping point for that one if you want to dip your toes into it. But that way, if you read Dreamers Do Lie first, you won't have to wait for the ending, because that one is totally out. I have a friend who's obsessed with Dante's Inferno. I am also obsessed with Dante's Inferno. I love it so much. I've read it so many times. I have a book called The Pocket Dante, which I just absolutely adore. I think I minimized the thing again so it didn't finish the timer, but that's okay. Just because of the many hydrates. Heck yeah. Drowning in hydration is what Pi prefers. Everyone who I've mentioned it to has loved either the play itself or Oscar Wilde's work as a whole. I was quite excited to dip my toes in. I think I've seen the play more so than read the play. And there's a movie, I think with Matthew Broderick in it. If I'm remembering correctly. Which is really good. I do not have audiobooks yet, unfortunately, Tyranno. I am looking into creating audiobooks. It's just that so far my attempts to do it have not really panned out. I'm having difficulty finding people with the ability to record for me, and I am having trouble finding time to do the recordings myself. It is in the works. It is in the pipeline. It just hasn't quite materialized yet. I hate being cut off and left hanging, both in books and TV shows. Absolutely. So if you do want to dip into the Arvalia Chronicles, in October, the first story arc will be complete because the first trilogy will be out. And then I'll put out three books in that series every year. So every October to December, there'll be essentially another whole story arc. And that way you're at least stopping at stopping points, if that makes sense. You wouldn't be stopping at cliffhangers. I make sure each of my trilogies has like a you could end the series there type of ending. There's more story, but you could end there if you decide I'm satisfied. I'm like that too. I'm a binger. I don't like to be left hanging on things. So my release schedule is kind of like, for people who want the small installments, you get one every, I think it's every 3 months, roughly. And then for the people who like the binge reading, in December there's a box set, and you can just read the whole trilogy at once. My husband is super interested in getting into that line of work. Can he audition? We can talk in Discord, Tyranno. I think it's gonna depend on budget. It's gonna, like, I think mostly, I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to audiobooks. I'm happy to discuss it. So yeah, we can definitely talk. I need to pick back up Symphony of the Stars as it fell out of my reading cycle, and then I've created my 2024 reading goals list specifically around poetry, and my 2025 goal is to read the Bible. Dang. But it's certainly high on my list to pick back up. I don't like not finishing books no matter how slow I take to read it, which is why I'm agitated. I've left a mid-book to read. Yeah, I used to always finish everything I read as well, and then I just kind of found that sometimes some things were not worth going back and finishing, so now I've kind of made peace with the fact that there are some things that will be unfinished in my life. But I feel you. And I kind of design my release schedule around, because I know some people are, I want more of this right now, I don't want to have to wait. And some people are, I only want to read if I know that it's going to leave me in a satisfying place. And so I try to satisfy the best of both worlds with my release schedule. Almost done with the base for this picture. Heck yeah! I decided to do a difficult pose, so I have no idea how it's going to turn out. You've got this, Blur. I believe in you. So I've got the next, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chapters planned out, and then that's where I start to get a little uncertain about the order. And I do think I'm probably gonna need more, because then what I have left is so it would be these 3 actually. I think I would do them in that order. So there we go. I have a suspicion that I might need 1 or 2 more prompts in order to do, like a falling action chapter. I think I might have just enough, prompts left to get through the conflict and to resolve the conflict the way I want to resolve the conflict. But I like to have, in my, at least at like the end of my series especially, I like to have a chapter that's like a falling action chapter where it's like, here's a little bit about what happened after everything was resolved. So I don't know, I don't know how I would find a prompt for that. But I might try and find at least 1 more prompt so that I can be like, okay, here's some aftermath, for the characters. Which is of more benefit to you, reading each of the 2 books separate or the duo set, or is there even a difference? If you are going to read them on Kindle Unlimited, there shouldn't be a difference. They should be roughly the same amount of pages. So it should work out to the same payout, as depending on which one you read. In fact, I think I'd have to try and remember the prices, but I think even if you were buying them, it doesn't make that much of a difference, royalty-wise. The box sets basically exist for, like I said, the people who are like, I want this whole thing right at once, and I don't want to have to wait for it, and I just want one-click easy access. Yeah, whichever, if it's easier for you to just have it all in one big book so that you don't have to switch books halfway through, go for it. It'll be the same. 'Cause I don't think it calculates page reads any different for longer books. I'm really making it a goal of mine to pick reading back up, as it's always something I've enjoyed, but I've always been unmotivated or lazy around it. That's one of the positive effects I found of reading poetry, is the way I motivate myself to read and can really get into a book is if I see progress. If it feels like I'm getting somewhere page-wise or plot-wise, I get motivated to keep reading. Heck yeah. I just like... Look, this is the book I'm reading right now. I'm reading The Star Scroll by Melanie Ron, and it's a big one. Like, this book is chonky. But I love watching my bookmark move through the book. It moves slowly, but look, I'm halfway through. I read all of this slowly, bit by bit, and page by page. For me, that makes me happy. More Kindle space, room for romances too then that way. Heck yeah! I can't remember if we did Blur's stretch, so let's do one last stretch, and then we're actually going to do a raid, because I have organized this project as much as I can for today, and we finished our scene. So I'm feeling pretty good about the prompt novel. I've definitely... got an order that I want to do the prompts in, and then I think once we get a little bit closer to everything finally starting to get resolved, I might look and see if I can sprinkle in just 2 or 3 more prompts so that we have that falling action option. But I'm really pleased. I genuinely had no idea when I started this project. I genuinely had no idea when I started this project if it was gonna turn out to be a total disaster or not. It was very much an experiment, very much a this could go either way sort of situation. So I'm really happy that it seems to be going well. Oh, let's see. Let's see who is co-working today. This is someone we haven't gotten to raid in a while, so let's head over there. We're going to go say hi to the Cozy Calico, who is also playing Lo-Fi sessions. I'm a Harlequin reader, I admit. You know what, though? I find that people who like romances are just voracious readers in general. And, like, super open on the spectrum of, like, what they read. Because I'm not a huge Harlequin reader, but I dip my toes in. And I find that people who read in that genre are just... They love stories. They are open to trying different genres as long as it tickles their fancy, and just consume it all. And I appreciate that as both a reader and a writer. Thank you for hanging out, Tyranno. I appreciate you. I'm a slow reader, no thanks to my dyslexia. Hey, I know it can be tough, but I appreciate that you still read, Blur. Because reading is amazing and wonderful. I think everyone should read. I know it's not everybody's jam, but I think stories is where it's at. That's the essence of life is storytelling. But that's it for me for today. I am going to go make some spaghetti sauce for my lovely husband for this evening. I will be back tomorrow at this same time, 10:30 a.m. PST, with more clicky clacks. We're going to be working on the Celestial Serenade tomorrow. And I have plans for those scenes, and I'm super excited to write them. Bard, I'm so sorry we are wrapping up, but we love you. I assumed that you were lurking this whole time. So I will be back tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m., and I will be over on Woof's channel on Saturday night at 8 p.m. PST. I don't know what I'm going to be playing. Maybe more Fall of Reverie? I don't know. I have a few more days to think about that. I was looking the whole time, but I couldn't hear anything. It was mostly just clicky clacks, so it's all good. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Please take care of yourselves until I see you again. Remember, I love you. You're amazing, and you got this.